What is going on, Phillies fans? Welcome into the Fighting's Final. I'm Big Al, here to bring you the post-game show right here on the Is a Wrap Sports Network. Phillies win it 2 games in a row. Still probably not making everybody feel so much better for that terrible Mets series, but 2-1 victory after last night's onslaught of offense. The offense was sorely lacking tonight, but they did just enough against a beleaguered Braves team. So take it for what you will. A win's a win, I understand. But ultimately, there's still some lacking with this team. I'm actually going to have to give a certain somebody some props tonight. Or not props, but agree with. We'll talk about that shortly. But like I said, your Phillies win 2-1 over the NL East fourth Atlanta Braves right now. I believe the Mets are pretty high up on the Marlins right now. So if everything stays the way it is, standings will stay the way they are. But listen, a win's a win, especially at this time of year, because we are at the end of August. We're about to jump into September. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about some of the woes. We're going to talk about how you guys feel about this team, why you feel it. And I might be agreeing with some more people that maybe usually I'll put up a fight against. So we'll get into all that tonight. But like I said, Phillies win 2-1 against a Braves team that scored 1 run off of 12 hits. Kind of sounds like what we've complained about the Phillies in the past for. But Phillies only mustered up 6 hits, but were able to get 2 runs out of the deal, and enough to win the whole game. Sack fly was enough off of Alec Boehm's bat to give him that 2-1 push, and then the Duran that we knew and that we asked for and we saw came in tonight, shut the door on the Braves, and gave us another victory that we sorely need after another bad taste in our mouth up in Citi Field. Let's hit some of these comments tonight, shall we? Mickey, what's going on, buddy? Let's go. Yep, big time. That small ball, that was real small ball. I mean, I'm glad they did it. It's nice to see they can win it, by ripping the cover off of it, as well as, producing runs when you're only getting a few 6 hits out of it. But why can't we hit Elder? Listen, we have hit Elder in the past. This Phillies teams, listen, the biggest complaint, I think, over all these last few years, is the inconsistency of this Phillies team, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because I was hoping, it looked like this team was really on a roll. But it's funny when this team struggled when Schwarber struggled. Schwarber went into a little bit of a slump, and of course, when they were up against the dreaded Mets of New York, it shined brightly, and this team just could not muster up enough wins and just couldn't not S the bed in Citi Field. To come back home, this team won 10 of their last 11 series, tied this series up, or not tied the series up, I should say. But the series is now up 2 in a 4-game series, so one more win will give them the win on this series. The worst case scenario is they split this series, but they need to win the series. We're getting into July. We really don't have time. This team really needs to start buckling down and winning small ball games like this. I would like to see a little bit more hits against a pitcher like Elder, but tonight was not that night, unfortunately. I mean, Elder's starting a 5.85 ERA. I think he came in it was still over 5. They should be able to hit him. So, true. Ricky is watching. It's always wonderful. Ricky, thank you for watching, and thank you for letting me know that you are watching. So greatly appreciate it, as always. September, yep. We're last couple days in August here. You got today, or you got Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday, Labor Day, kicks off September. I'm going to look at that schedule with you, because it's not an easy schedule. They got some playoff style baseball to run, and we're going to talk about the wild card. We're going to talk about a lot of things. I might go a little longer tonight, so buckle in, because I want to talk a lot. You say July. Am I saying July? Did I say July? Whatever. You know what I mean. August into September. You're right, Star Wars. If I said it, I apologize. Mike is watching. All right, Mikey Laro, thank you for watching. Yes. Everybody's favorite, Mike Laro, my partner on Sunday mornings as well. So Phillies won tonight, and that's part of the story. We're gonna get into it. We'll break down the batting lineup. We'll talk about the pitching a little bit. There's not a lot of scoring to talk about. Big defensive play at the plate that kept the score at 1-0 at the time, but we'll go through that as well. But that's these some of the things that they need, but it's this inconsistency. 7 home runs the night before, 4 of them from one guy, and then barely 6 hits and 2 runs the next day. I mean, it's just that's this team, and that's going to be the downfall of this team as it was last couple of years if it continues. What time is live tomorrow? We'll look at tomorrow's schedule. I don't know what time live. I guess live, well, post game would be for the Fightins final, Ricky. So whatever that. Yeah, Ranger wasn't great, but give Ranger credit. 5 innings, but he let up 10 hits. But he was able to keep it to 1 run. So, take your good with your bad. He can still get out of. It's nice to know that he can get out of those moments. He can get out of those pickles, if you want to call them that. But hopefully he doesn't keep putting himself in there because, like I said, only 12. I mean, not only 12. They let up 12 hits, but 10 of them came in the first 5 innings with Ranger. But he was able to spread them out and, of course, win it. So it's a 6:05 game tomorrow. So about 8:30ish, give or take, they'll be live. And if you want to know, since you're asking, and I'll do this for you. You got Matty B. You got a double dose of Matty B coming at you Saturday and Sunday. So you had Mike already. So you got W for Mike, W for me. Let's see if Matty B can bring the series home, and he only has to win 1. So pressure's on Matty B. So let's look at this. Let's look at the box scores real quick. Turner was 0 for 4 tonight. Schwarber was 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Of course, he got across the plate both times with a walk. Harper was 2 for 4, 1 with a bunt hit. Anyway, I kind of like seeing that. That was nice to see. Hey, I'm not hitting it as well. I'm struggling against this guy. All right, everybody's to the right. Let's just bunt it over and get on base. I like that. Some people thought it was a cop out. On Twitter, people were getting annoyed by it. You can't win sometimes on social media, but I like the fact that they did that. I was okay with that scenario. Like I was okay that he's like, all right, I'm struggling. So at least we know that it's not going to come up to. I'd rather that than him come to the plate and just start bashing away. Like I like what I saw from that. Alec Boehm was 0 for 3 with an RBI, which was the game winning RBI. It was a sac fly to right field, allowing Kyle Schwarber to score from third. Castellanos was 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Bader came in at center field at the end, so he didn't bat. Kepler was in left, moved to right for defensive purposes, but he was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Stott was 1 for 3 tonight, and Marchand was 0 for 3 and a strikeout. 30 at bats, 2 runs scored off of 6 hits. All those runs were earned, and 3 walks off of, and 3 strikeouts. Only 3 strikeouts, I guess. Take that for what it's worth. But on the opposite side, the Braves 36 at bats, 1 run off of 12 hits. That's kind of the story of their season. That's why you're kind of beat up on a beleaguered team. 1 RBI, as I mentioned, 2 walks, and they also they had 6 strikeouts. So, I mean, that Braves team is not the team that we've seen in the past. It's almost kind of sad. I mean, we all thought this game was on Apple TV tonight. For those who watched it, because when this was scheduled, this was probably a marquee matchup. Last series going into March, I can't get my Star Wars. I can't get my months right. Going into September, doesn't. They thought this was going to be marquee, and I believe Sunday night's a primetime game too. So, can you post the schedule on Facebook? Post which schedule? The one I just put up on the screen? It is on Facebook, I think. But if it's not, let me know. Are you looking at the schedule? I'm going to ask you, is it this schedule? Are you talking about this schedule, Ricky? Because I'm not exactly sure if that's what you're talking about. If it is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I think all of them. I was hoping for 50 home runs for Schwarber. Well, tonight would have been nice to see him hit the big 5-0, but he's got a whole month left to do it. Unless he goes on some terrible cold streak, he should hit it with no problem. He was not good. I don't know. Yes, it's on Facebook. He posts it before the series starts, just so you know. Matty B always puts that out before the series starts. So if that went out either Wednesday night or Thursday morning before the first game, and it puts it out there. So it's on all there for you to see. So please, if you haven't, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We're on. And then TikTok actually has some extra stuff on there. I do a couple videos, like Mike and Pat and all them. Steve, everybody does their own videos. Twitter, there's a lot of just bits and clips that maybe you missed also as well. So some short form video there for you as well. So that's let's look at the pitching. Ranger wasn't Ranger danger, but he also was effective nonetheless. Like, you know, you can give 1,000 hits. The runs are what's important. One run. So take the good with the bad, I guess. But you worry because if this was a better team, 10 hits, I don't think they win this game. I mean, that's not I don't think. I'm pretty sure they don't. You know what I mean? So take that for what it's worth. But 5 innings, 10 hits, 1 run was earned with a walk, and he only got 2 strikeouts, which I'm okay with Ranger with low strikeouts. I would prefer him to get the ground balls. That's what I would prefer because that's his kind of thing. Robertson, let's talk about him for a minute. Like for the most part, he's had a clunker, I think, once so far, but 1 inning, 1 strikeout. He's a 1.23 ERA. He has been consistent in 40 years old. He's only a couple of years younger than me, and he's out there throwing. Look at all this gray. Strom, 1 hit, 1 walk, but that was it. Kerkering, 1 hit, as well as 1 strikeout. Duran came in, gassed them all up, 2 strikeouts, 101, 102, just gassing it. 9 innings pitched, 12 hits allowed, 10 of them from Ranger. 1 run was allowed, only that was from Ranger. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 0 home runs. Story of the game right there. 2-1 victory. You're fighting Phils. Brings your Phillies team to still in the first place in NL East at 78 and 57. So that's where we're at. Eagles fan jumping in here. The Phillies suck. The Phillies suck at consistency. Let's put it at that, Eagles fan. Let's put it at that. The Phillies suck for consistency. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to sit there and fight you and tell you this team is perfect and poised to win a World Series. But can they? Sure. But they all got to step up, and the consistency's got to get better. And you'll hear that word a lot from me tonight. But to say they suck when you're in first place, I mean, they came off a crappy series. I get it. I can't say somebody sucks when you're in first place. I can't. Especially this late into August going into September. Like, it's really difficult. Really, 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 really difficult. But their consistency sucks, and they all made us miserable this last week. Or last series, I should say. But let's jump into this because I want to get into you guys. I want to talk with you guys. I want a lot of interaction tonight. But given Ranger, the fact that Ranger battled and was 10 hits but still only 1 run, I don't know what's more credit. You get more credit when a guy gets like 2 hits in 1 run or 10 hits in 1 run. Like where do you think that is? But let's take a trip down the old Broad Street bottom line. All right, Broad Street Bottom Line is brought to you by so many things. Number 1, I believe tonight you'll see the wraparound. I don't know if it's with Pat or Mike. I'm not sure tonight, but the wraparound tonight at 10:30 p.m. The final word, as always, with Matty B, Sunday through Thursday. He had after that Mets, one of those terrible Mets games. He had Jack Fritz on from WIP. It was a great interview, a great talk, and a lot of props to Jack Fritz for still coming on, because that game went a little not late, but later, and then Matt had to start later, and Matt accommodated him, but he also came on. So I give Jack Fritz a lot of there's a lot of poise. Most guys who are, do what he does would have said, oh, well, I got to go to work tomorrow. Let's reschedule this. What are you going to do about it? So I give him a lot of credit. And don't forget Sundays with Pat and Mike, of course, myself, Pat and Steve on the attacking third, talking Union soccer and some new things coming on. We got a lot of football coming around. The 6th season of Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn and Matty B starts this Tuesday coming up at September 2nd at 7 p.m. talking Eagles Cowboys matchup coming up on Thursday, which I'll be at, by the way. So look at our social media. I'll have some stuff up. So Kyle returns. Speaking of WIP producers, right there, maybe the future Jack Fritz. You never know. Also, new show, Happy Valley Huddle. That's right. For all you Penn State fans out there, just like me, Penn State postgame football show with your boy Mikey Laro, Happy Valley Huddle. That is starting soon, right? Got it real soon. And also, speaking of Mike, the props, locks, and parlays with Mike Laro. No pressure sports betting, because it's all for fun. Entertainment only, my friends. This is just, what the odds of winning something, not talking about money, just winning the bet. Could you do it? Could you make the decision? No pressure. It's all for entertainment. Props, locks, and parlays with Mikey Laro. And, of course, the Eagles post-game show will be coming at you. The Birds flyby. I believe Steve Fuentes will be on this one. Eagles, Dallas, and maybe I'll check in from the game after they beat on that BTA, belt to ass on them Cowboys. And like I said, don't forget the rest of the lineup this week. Matty B will be on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is a primetime game, so you have that coming up for you too as well. So let's get into it. My bottom line is consistency. This team has lacked consistency, not just this year. I mean, I actually felt like this year they had more consistency, but it's falling off again, and it's kind of getting that reminiscent feeling of what we saw against sorry, not just against the Mets, but what we saw last year about this time. They were, 500 team, and then they looked like, right, like the end of August, beginning of September, they were starting to come up, seeing like a little bit more consistent, a little bit more like they're kind of turning the corner, and maybe felt like, we just get to the postseason, we're fine. Well, hopefully that's not how that mentality works with this team, because mentality is going to be everything with this team. Now you got no Zach Wheeler, which was a giant, gut check. Now, after what happened in Citi Field, you got to go back out there. Not go back out to Citi Field, but if you have to, you can't have excuses. Champs win no matter where. They have to win. There shouldn't be a scary field for them. Just the way it is. Hope the Dodgers lose. Eagles fans, I always hope everybody loses but our team. Okay, so Mikey is on the wraparound tonight. So you will see Mikey Laro. We're the 1-2 punch on your Friday night, me and Mike. Yeah, but it's going to be about consistency, guys. And I want to know, and we're going to get into it, and why I'll go through the standings. I'll go through the MLB scores. We're gonna look at September together. But I want to know, you guys, are you on? Are you off? Are you teetering? Like, you're not betting the house, I'm sure. Nobody's betting the house after losing Wheeler in the way they played over the last week. But how are you feeling? Has your stance on this team changed? I can't say mine hasn't changed. I still think they could, if they can get their consistency back, and we could see the play like the 2022 Phillies could, sans Zach Wheeler, they could definitely make a run. It's going to be, listen, if they win this whole thing this year, if they win the World Series this year, it's a storied year, and it's going to be a lot reminiscent of the 2017 Eagles losing your key player, the ups and downs this team had, the way the people were all, we were high on the team because it came out hot, and then they kind of slacked off, and then it got hot, they were able to keep themselves afloat, and everybody had them every time they started having them counted out. even the fans. This could be a lot like that, but that's what it will be like. This went from the team having a great trajectory of going to the World Series. You got Zach Wheeler. Your team was pretty healthy. You're playing pretty consistent baseball. You're winning and winning upon winning, and then you lose Zach Wheeler, and your consistency, is gone off, especially against good teams. I don't want to hear about Citi Field. I understand they haven't done really well. It's been a bit of a house of horrors, kind of like with Oracle Park and San Fran has been for them. I don't want to hear that. Championship teams win if you play on a dirt field in the back of your house or Oracle Park or Citi Field. It doesn't matter. You win where you have to win. I understand. One thing with baseball is always odd. Home field advantage usually has to do with the crowd, right? Crowd, noise, being comfortable in your own home, having your fans in the stands more than the other fans, all that kind of stuff. With baseball, where it's a little different, is different types of, it's the only game where the fields are different. Football fields, 100-yard football fields, rectangular, goals at both ends, goal posts at both ends. Hockey rinks, all the same size, same nets are all the same size. Basketball hoops, basketball courts, same size, basketball hoops, same height, same width. Everything's the same. Baseball's the only time where you can play. Each park's different than the next. But you got to overcome that. If you want to be a championship team, that can't be your excuse. Because I don't want excuses. And I know I said, when Wheeler went down, I kind of tweeted out, Philly can't have nice things. This is what happens. We can't have nice things. And I was just being in my feels at the time. I'll be honest with you. I was pissed. I was going through the emotions. I was sad. I was angry. I drank a little bit. I was all over the place. I'll be honest with you. I really felt like this team could have had no team was running away with it. I felt this team had all the makings of a championship series, and then losing Wheeler, and then the inconsistency rears its ugly head at the worst time possible when you could have put your foot on the throat of the Mets, and you blew the opportunity. Now you kept the Mets in the game, and you gave them life. Luckily, the Mets lost last night, took a game back from them. They're winning tonight right now, and I believe they're 13-4 right now. 13-4 right now. So, bottom of the seventh. Most likely the Mets will win tonight outside of unforeseen, but they can Mets it up. They've done it. That's defense hurt them plenty of times, including last night. So, but as of right now, Mets are winning this. Mets are winning. Let's keep the lead. At least 5. Go Phillies. Jose, absolutely. Listen, man, I'm still a Phillies fan, but I'm holding my team accountable now. Accountability here. And I get on Matty B a little bit. I get on some guys who I feel are a little negative. I'll give Dave Yarnell, where are you at? If you're on here, I usually pop your head in here sometimes when I'm doing a show. If you're listening, I'll give you a little credit. Me and him went back and forth on PM in the AM last Sunday. And it was about Marshawn. And of course, Marshawn goes and has a game that day. I mean, has a game. He won. He had all the scored, I think, all the RBIs that day. Won the game for the Phillies. Now, tonight, did not have that. But, still batting a 186. You know what I mean? But my point is, I give him his little credit because he was good that day, that one day. He ain't better than JT, though. That I'm not backing down from. But, last night, like I said, when somebody comes out of a slump, Kyle Schwarber comes out of a slump. That is a slump. That's a slump buster, as we used to refer to them as kids. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say slump buster. So I'm not gonna expand upon if you don't know what a slump buster is. If you do, just give me a thumbs up in the chat, and then we'll all have a nice little giggle to ourselves. But when you can bust out of a slump with 4 home runs in one game, which is done by very few people, that's very good. And don't forget, he was one of those home runs away from being a home run cycle because he had a single, a solo, a 2-run, a 3-run jack, and of course he had another 3-run, which 9 RBIs. I'm not shaking a stick at, but if he got a grand slam, he would have a home run cycle. Now that's some history right there in the making. But it's going to be about consistency. I want to talk about holding these guys accountable. I want to hear from you guys. I want to look at the future. I want to break down September with you, and I want to look at the scores around the league and take a real put the standings under a microscope. So let's do that. Why don't we go around around the bases real quick, and we'll talk about that and then get into everything else. All right, guys, we are around the bases right now. So let's take a look. And you know what? Nothing's better. Solo trips are fun around the bases, like solo shots. But sometimes when you can bring a friend with you around the bases, you have to. So let's bring a friend around the bases. And that friend is my partner in crime, as usual, one of my best buddies in the whole wide world, Mikey Laurel. Mikey, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on, Al? I just wanted to jump on with you. Again, I think I have all the luck. I had the 13-3 Mets game on Monday. A lot of runs being scored, not in our favor. Last night I'm on. We watched Kyle Schwarber hit 4 bombs, 19 runs to talk about. And then you, my friend, you get a 2-1 game. But, hey, I'll take a win. A 2-1 win is just as good as 19-4.
The W's are what matter in the long run, but I was talking to them, and I'm glad you're joining us. And we're going to take a trip around the bases real quick. Let's do that. And I'm going to have some questions to ask you because I want your interaction as well as the other guys. But looking around the bases real quick, guys, right now the Cards are up 7-5 in the bottom of the 10th. So right now the Reds got to score some runs, at least 2 to tie the game, or this game is over with the Cards W. Final for the day, Rays beat the Nationals 4-1. Of course, the Phillies beat the Braves 2-1, which we've been talking about the whole night. Brewers are up 7-2. The bottom of the 9th on the Blue Jays. That is another team we really got to keep our eye on because I know I've thought maybe it was fool's gold, but unless they go into the playoffs and just poop the bed, Brewers are going to be a team. Mariners lost 5-4 to the Guardians today in Cleveland. I always want to call them the Indians. It's hard for me not to. Pirates won 4-2 over the Red Sox. Mets are at the bottom of the 7th right now. 13-4. Yankees are up 8-1, bottom of the 6th. Tigers are down 2-3 to the Royals, bottom of the 5th. Angels and Astros are in the bottom of the 6th. And here's my thing: is I'm looking here, and let me ask you about this because I hate this. I hate when they do it on the TV. I hate when I see it on the site this early. What is too early for the no-hitter sign? Because right now there's a no-hitter going on in Houston with Angels versus Houston.
Oh man, you can't talk about that until at least the 7th.
I'd say at least the 7th or through 7.
Or through 7, yeah. Once the 7th inning, you can kind of start to hint to it.
Is it okay if the guy's pitch counts up? Like if he's probably not going to go all 9.
No,
I don't like it. In fact, I feel it's just bad juju. Just don't.
No, it's bad. That happened earlier this year, believe it or not. I think somebody had a no-no going through 7, and like the home announcers are getting ready to go to like commercial break was like, yeah, like you want to get back here because he's got to go. He didn't even mention it. He said something like along the lines like, "Oh, you want to get back and say him when he comes back to the mound, he's got to go." And that's all he said. And then they come back to the game. The guy walks up, first pitch the guy sees, he hits a single to right field. It blew the whole thing. So, yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter, talk about it or not. But Twins are up 6-2 on the Padres. Cubs are up 5-2 on the Rockies. I'm sorry. Both of them, the Twins are up 6-2 at the bottom of the 5th. Cubs are up 5-2 at the top of the 5th in Colorado. And still to play today. Still baseball to be had. Rangers, Athletics, Diamondbacks, and Dodgers, as well as Orioles and Giants in San Fran. And that right there is your trip around the bases, Mikey Laurel.
Yeah, listen, I just looked at the updated standings, too. With the Reds right now, they're about to fall 5 games back of the Mets for that final wild card spot right now. I would keep your eyes on Arizona I would also keep your eyes on San Francisco. They are all those three teams are like right there in the mix. And with that being said, I mean, I know the Mets and Reds got a big 3-game series coming up in Cincinnati, so we have to keep our eyes out on that. And like I said, I brought it up last night, Matt or Al. I showed I basically said the Mets schedule coming through, man. Like this next like they got a brutal, and I mean brutal September.
I had it ready, queued up. So let's talk about it. Here is your Phillies September. So of course, tomorrow they have the last game in or second to last game in August, and then Sunday will be the last game in August, and there'll be the end of the Braves series. But they go to Milwaukee, and they have a 3-game series, but it's kind of a broken up because they have the Labor Day game, and then they have off.
A random Tuesday in September. They're off.
Yeah, that's the very rare off Tuesday for your Phils. But it's a 4:10 Memorial Day game against the Brewers. So that is going to be a place to sit down, hunker down in front of the grill and really watch it. Mikey, me and you might have to talk and see what you're doing because we might have to hang out for that one. But
I actually have the post game for the first two. I have it Monday and on Wednesday, so I have post game.
Well, if you need help on Monday, I might be there to help you out. So
that'll work, man.
But Wednesday, it's a 7:40 start, and then Thursday is a 4:10 game. So they have 2 4:10 games and 1 Tuesday off in the middle of the 3-game series with the hottest team in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers.
And you know what? Let's give MLB a little bit of credit too. This game I think originally was a 7:40 game, and they had moved it up to a 4:10 game because of Eagles Cowboys. That night they knew that they were not going to get no viewership in Philadelphia. With that being the Birds' home opener,
just move it to Tuesday and just give them off on Thursday.
Yeah, you would think, but I mean, if you're looking at it though, this would have been like a 5. God, if you go back and take a look, they wouldn't have had a day off in like 10 days if you really look at it. So I guess they
had a long stretch after that. After that Tuesday, they're not off until not the next Thursday, but the Thursday after on the 18th. I mean, if you look at it in September, they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games off, and that's the last 2 don't count because that's the end of the season. So technically, only 3 games off in September, and then it goes depending on where they're at if they have to go into a wild card game. But as we look further down there, so like I said, the Brewers are 83-52. They're 4-6 in their last 2 games, and they're on a 2-game losing streak. So, hopefully they can continue to do that because it'll be beneficial for us going into it. Then against Miami, who we all know can be a thorn in our side. I know they will like to play spoiler. I'm not saying they're going to come back. Mike, you had them really to come back up. I mean, they're still 9 games behind the Mets. So that's kind of some tough sledding right there for them. But then those dreaded Mets are back, man. It's a 4-game series in South Philadelphia. Thank the freaking Lord. Mike, let me ask you about that. Your thoughts on this City Field nonsense, just like Oracle Park. Like my eyes, I'm kind of taking a Matty B approach to this, and I agree with him. I'm sure I don't even know if he's thinking this, but I can't imagine him not thinking it. Like, you got to win where you got to win. It don't matter what field you're at. There can't be House of Horrors or bad juju in places. You just got to do it.
Yeah, they got to get it. They just got to win one. I think once they win one, unfortunately, it won't be this year because that was their last trip up there. But it's their last trip for the regular season. Yeah. I'll put it to you that way. But you know what, Al? Like if you go and look around the whole National League. And I'm talking the whole National League. You go and take a look at it. And I brought this up again last night. Nobody in the National League, and I mean nobody, is more than 2 games above 500 on the road, with the exception of the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers are 10 games above 500 away from Milwaukee. Okay? Everybody else is within 2 games. And I'm looking at the Mets record. Let's
do this right now. I'll give it to you real quick.
Yeah, I got it up myself. So yeah,
Dodgers are 500 away, 33-33. The Phillies are 34-35, so they're 1 game under 500. Cubs are 2 games above 500. San Diego is actually 5 games below, and the Mets are 9 games
below 500. So while everybody was talking about oh, this is a house of horror and this and that. Like the Mets are totally like you want to talk about a team that's night and day on the road. Like it's the whole National League. The whole National League is night and day between home and road. So
I
I'm
get
looking.
it. It's just they haven't won a game all season long there.
Dude, that happens, man. Look,
It
look,
does.
look. I mean, look when they used to play Florida. Like there was times, Arizona, Florida for a while, San Francisco. Those places, dude, like the Phillies never win there. Arizona, I can't remember the last time they won a game in the regular season in Arizona. I can't remember, and that's a bad thing, really, too, because they have a 3-game set coming up with them. When they go out to play the Dodgers. But I mean, if you're looking at this, like you think this Phillies one is tough, holy cow, man! Like you got to see these, dude. This I said it last night when just the start of they finish up the series Sunday with the Marlins, right? Do the Mets. After that, they have literally they go to Detroit to play 3 with the Tigers. They have that big matchup with the Reds. After the Red Series, they come here for 4 games. Then they go home. They got the Rangers, the Padres before they get the Nationals. The Nationals are kind of, but you got to take in consideration, Nationals actually took 2 or 3 from the Mets the last time they played them, just this past weekend, before they finished with the Cubs and then the Marlins again. Yeah. Like, that's a brutal schedule, man. Brutal.
I mean, listen, ours isn't 100% better. I mean,
well, ours is a little bit easier considered to that. Like I'm not so. I don't think I'm not worried about Kansas City, and then basically,
Kansas City is 3 games out of the one wild card spot right now. They're 3 games behind the Mariners.
Yeah, I know. So, but that's a typical. Kansas City's what like the Phillies used to be, if you remember. Like I'll say, like around between I'll say what 05 or 04 to like 06. Like they're like right there, but they're a couple pieces away. That's what the Kansas City Royals are. They are. They're like the Phillies. I got a bunch of young talent out there. They didn't bring it together yet.
But they're still in the playoff hunt. The Mets are gonna come to. Do you remember? Was it last year or the year before? What was the year when the Braves? The Braves won the division in Philly, right?
Yes.
It was, I think, 2023. And they had the sign on the thing, and everybody was real upset about it and all that. I mean, not that they're going to come in here and, unless we just completely crap the bed between now and then, they're not going to come in here and probably be able to win. I mean, they could. It's a 4-game series. The Mets are going to come. This is going to be playoff baseball, September 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
I just think, I think all I'm saying is if you're going by the record, and I know the Mets are like, 6-2 against the Phillies, but you got to remember the last time the Mets came here, they lost 2 or 3. They lost 2 or 3 here. Like, the Mets have gotten 2 3-game sweeps from the Phillies. They got one early in the year. They got one just this past week. So that's how they got to their 6 wins in this, that's how they got to their 6 wins. And I'm not knocking them. The Mets deserve to win that series. They played better baseball. But again, you're going to see like that road trip that they're going to go on, man. That is going to be brutal. And I'm sorry, I just don't watching that Mets team. Other than watching them against the Phillies, it's like they get up for the Phillies coming in at home. You know what I mean? Like they get up for them. I just think the Phillies are going to return their favor. I'm not saying they're going to sweep, but I think they could take 3 or 4 from the Mets.
It's not undifferent than how Eagles fans back in the 90s used to get. We don't care if we win anything else, but we got to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, that's because the Cowboys were the measuring stick. Like, let's be honest. I mean, Cowboys won 4 Super Bowls and 3. They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. So, from 92 from 92 to 95, man, like that was the team you had to beat. So that's how you have to, just like this year, people are I just think, I hear what people are saying negatively about this Phillies team, and some of it is warranted. It really is. Like again, our pitchers, the way how Ranger is in the second half of the regular season. it's been a downward. It's like almost a fight with him all the time. You know what I mean?
Well, tonight was, he
Yeah,
only let
same
up
way.
one run, but he let up 10 hits in 5 innings. So it's kind
Yeah,
of,
and
I
yeah,
said,
it's
what do you give a guy more credit for? Letting up only 1 run in 3 hits or 4 hits, or letting up only 1 run in 10 hits?
yeah. I mean, that's just again to me it was bad situational hitting for the Braves. Really, yeah, if you take a look at it, you give up 10 hits, man, you should be plating in more than one run.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You take the fact that the Braves are a beleaguered team, but that 4-game series, it's going to be loud. It's going to be the closest thing to playoff baseball you're going to get before October.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus too, there's factors in. Like I said, I read you the Mets schedule. Like there's factors. I mean, like that Cubs series could be nothing to the Cubs by then. They could just already be because they're so far back of the they're so far back of the Brewers, man. Like they might just be getting ready just to get ready because if you're looking at it, um, they're going to be getting ready to host their little wild card round leading into that.
Uh-huh. Well, you got the Dodgers who are looking to get a top spot and stay because they have been jockeying back and forth with the Padres.
That's going to be a fun series too. I think that's going to be a fun series.
And then Arizona, like you said, they're 6.5 games out, so they would have to play some good baseball and come here and look to continue it because they actually really have zero room for error already at this point in the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough stretch too. I mean, like, you're home for 7 games. You're going to be coming off an emotional. Like, I would be surprised. Like, and I know Al, you're probably going to have that Friday night Kansas City game, but if you're looking at it in all seriousness, you're going to have a 4-game dogfight playoff atmosphere type series with the Mets. Like, I would not be surprised if they lost that Friday night game against Kansas City. And then, like I said, then you got your West Coast trip, basically where you're going to Los Angeles. And
well, the worst part about it's going to be hard to tell the teams apart because they're both going to be wearing blue.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they might make them, make them wear white jerseys for that game or something.
I don't know. They didn't do it when the Brewers were in town for Friday night. But yeah. But I'm saying it's listen, like you said, looking at this, after say in September. So look at it from September 1st to September 21st. They have 2 nights off. 2 nights off. That's it. From September 1st to September 21st, you play 19 games in 21 days. And like you said, you go Brewers, talk about emotional series. Miami's going to sit there and try to beat up on the play spoiler. Right back into the Mets at home for a 4-game series. Play into KC here for the weekend. And then it's a West Coast trip, so that makes it even worse. 6 games in 7 days on the West Coast in LA and Arizona.
Yeah. Yep. And then before they come home and finish off the 3-game set or a 6-game set when they come home. But yeah, it's going to be tough, man. But like I said, when you look at, like I said, I just ran down the Mets schedule. Like the Mets got, like you think we have a bad kind of a stretch. I mean, like they got a killer one. I read it last night, and I was literally sitting there going down. I was thinking, if you're a Mets fan, man, like I would be looking at Major League Baseball like, whoo, like, dude, that's a real rough stretch. I mean, considering, and it all depends really what goes on really with this Marlins series because they got 4 with the Marlins. So they got to play the Marlins 2 more times. And, I think their best pitcher, Alcantara, I think he's going. So, but Al, listen, I'm going to let you go because I got to get ready for the wraparound. That's right, guys. Make sure you tune in. I will be following Big Al right after this on the wraparound. We're going to be doing talking some college football as I help. We already kind of went over the Phillies. I think you guys will be a little Philly out tonight, but we're going to look ahead to the Birds. That's right, the Birds. As they get ready. And, of course, that's right, I'll be getting you guys ready. The initial Happy Valley Huddle will kick off tomorrow. That's right after Penn State and Nevada. And then this Wednesday coming up, that's right, myself and Al, I'm actually going to have our boy Paul Spencer on from Out of the Box Sports. He will be joining me as my guest. We're going to go over week 1 of the NFL and week 2 of college. We're going to be giving you some prop bets out there that maybe you might want to put some shillings on. It's all for entertainment purposes only. And we give our locks for the week in college and pro football. So maybe you want to tune in for that. But I will be back in just about 20 minutes or so. But Al, thanks again, buddy, for having on. And
it's always a pleasure. And guys, stay tuned because I'm about to wrap it up once we go through this, and it's all Mikey for you guys for the rest of the night.
All right, guys, be good.
All right, take it easy, bud. So, as we were saying, don't forget, stay tuned, Mikey Lauro. So, you guys, a lot of sports talk, a lot of interacting to have with Mike Lauro coming up. Don't worry about it. But looks like our boy Matty B is putting some posts out there. Let me see. I see. Am I above 500 yet on the year for post games? 8-9, man. I just want to get above 500. These Fridays have been murder for me. Murder on Friday nights. But yeah, like I said, the Dodgers are going to be a big one. They're going to be jockeying for that spot. We're like neck and neck with them right now at the same 77 and 57. So we're tied. So that's going to be a bit jockeying between the second and first position. So that's going to be, listen, man, it is going to be an emotional week. Month of September. Brewers the testing. Can we hang with them? We're in Milwaukee. Brewers have a nice lead on the whole league. In Miami, it's a divisional game in Miami. We all know how that can play out for the Phillies. Then you're home 4 against the Mets. It is, I say, if you haven't gotten them yet, go get some tickets. Get some tickets for this Mets-Phillies series 4-game set coming up 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. I mean, September 11th. That's when they I remember the Phillies were playing when the Mets they killed Osama bin Laden. I remember that. So that was a memorable moment. KC, like Mike said, it's not a big set, but they could be emotionally drained by them. That KC series can be very difficult. Dodgers jockeying for that top spot where we've been neck and neck with them all season long. All season long. Arizona could be fighting for a playoff lives at that point. Really depends on where they're at. And then another series against the Miami Marlins looking to play spoiler, but likely it's at home. And then the Twins are out of it, so maybe maybe a certain pitcher that we trade away gets to come home and pitch against us. We'll find out. But guys, that is about it. I enjoyed our time tonight. I know some people said that they couldn't get in on the comments, but I don't know what Facebook does nowadays. It only lets you click on the photo. I don't know why. Let me do me a favor. I love all you Facebook guys, but just go to our YouTube page. It just makes it a lot easier. You can put the bell on. You'll get the little ring. Just sign up for it on YouTube. It's just so much more cleaner, smoother, and easier. And you can go back and watch stuff so much easier. Facebook's been making so many changes about live videos, and they don't keep them up long, and all this stuff. And they delete them and whatever. That's fine, great, and wonderful. But go on YouTube, follow us there, talk to us through that. Just make your life easier. Just download the app, log in with your Gmail or some sort of email account, and then you can put the comments on it, and it'll pop up on your screen. It's a Raps Live. It's a Raps Live, so you can check out all the stuff we have for you. So stay tuned. You'll have plenty of Mike Lauro. Phillies win 2-1. Let's see if they can take the series tomorrow. Maybe even sweep the Braves. That'd be beautiful. But I'll take a win right now in the series. So other than that, guys, I'm Big Al. Phillies win 2-1. Big win tonight on a Friday night. Have a great night, and see you guys. And stay tuned for Mike Lauro in about 20 minutes. Have a great night, guys. Take it easy.